Hi, everyone. I'm Lana Zach. Businesses across the country are stepping up to help as the country fights the novel coronavirus. Vistaprint typically supplies marketing materials to small businesses across the globe, but now it has a new initiative to get face shields into the hands of people on the front lines. Last week, the company pledged to donate 100,000 face shields to healthcare facilities in underserved communities across the nation. Ricky Engelberg is the Chief Marketing Officer at Vistaprint. He joins me now from Boston. So, Ricky, your company usually makes things like banners and business cards. How exactly do you transform your plants to make face shields?
Well, Lana, thanks for having me today. For us to be able to make face shields, it took the teams having a complete commitment to helping out in this horrible situation. Obviously, we're all in this together. So much of it is about us helping small businesses. We've been a partner with them for over 20 years, and we know that helping the communities that the small businesses are part of is critical. Our factories in Windsor, Ontario realized that the same machines that can make banners or can make signs could just as easily make face shields. They secured materials and worked with the fire departments in Windsor and the hospital in Windsor and created a model that we're able to make 100,000 a week of now, and we're donating 100,000 of them to 100 hospitals across the U.S. and Canada in smaller communities where we know that 1,000 shields can make a very big impact in helping keep those communities healthy and the frontline workers as safe as can be.
It's so interesting to me how your factory and other factories are moving. It seems so nimbly from producing one thing to something entirely different, like in this case from banners and business cards to face shields. Was there a lot of work that went into making that change, or was it a relatively easy thing?
You know, I mean, obviously anything important is easy. The teams worked overnight for weeks figuring out how to make this happen. And it was absolutely critical for them to be able to do our part. We've been able to get masks that we've been able to distribute in Europe, the face shields here in the US and Canada, and much more to come of just trying to find different ways to be able to help communities right now. And so again, I think the teams, the passion they've brought to figuring out how to help small businesses and help communities has been absolutely inspiring and continues on every single day right now for us.
And these face shields actually meet the necessary requirements for rural healthcare workers as for their personal protective equipment?
You know, they followed government standards that were provided of what could be used in this situation. Obviously, getting anything's better than nothing right now, and making sure that the face shields are provided were developed in collaboration with hospitals in Windsor and the fire department, allowed for us to make sure that they met the standards of frontline workers in Canada, and we're able to bring them into the U.S. to be able to help those hospitals. Again, so many hospitals are at their absolute peak, and others are in a different place right now. And we wanted to make sure that everyone was prepared for the waves ahead. And the teams, again, worked incredibly hard to make sure that these met the needs of hospital frontline workers.
Absolutely. And beyond hospital workers, other essential workers, people who are in supermarkets and pharmacies, all of those people who also need personal protective equipment like these face shields. Is it possible that Vistaprint is, as you're cranking out 100,000 a week, will be providing it to a greater array of people?
Yeah, completely. They're available through the Vistaprint site right now. Again, like we have the ability to make 100,000 a week, and we'll continue to make them as long as people need them. Again, getting them into the hands of medical workers was the first priority, but for grocery stores to restaurant owners that are trying to keep their doors open right now, we want to make sure they're as safe as could be it through masks or through face shields or just the right advice as to how to be able to handle takeout, delivery, food service, all in this new environment people are dealing with every day.
Sure. And of course, it is admirable that you're trying to help healthcare workers, but I have to ask, how is Vistaprint making sure that it's keeping its own factory workers safe?
You know, the teams around the world are doing amazing jobs of coming up with measures to be able to incorporate social distancing, temperature checks, appropriate shift management, and in general, our factories have been able to stay fully operational and very healthy throughout this. I mean, obviously everyone is taking this day to day, but doing everything we can to make sure that from a cleanliness standpoint, it's the best shape it's ever been, and that we're trying to treat the workers with the respect they need to be able to stay healthy throughout this process. Again, absolutely critical for us to be able to deliver some of the things from an essential product standpoint to hospitals throughout Canada and the U.S. right now, and then overall throughout the world.
And since you really make your most of your business comes from small businesses at Vistaprint, I'm wondering how the pandemic has impacted your own company and your bottom line.
Well, I mean, it's obviously something that we're dealing with where small businesses are hurting. When small businesses hurt, we're their partner. We've been in partnership with small businesses for over 20 years. And that notion of being a partner means being with them in good times or in bad times. And right now for small businesses, it's a bad time. And what we wanted to make sure is that we're able to provide to them great advice, that we're able to provide real-time understanding of what restaurants could do or florists could do to help stay in business in this time, help aid people in their transition from print to digital. And we want to make sure we're able to provide them funds. So we launched the Save Small Business Fund in partnership with the U.S. Chamber Foundation. And really that's us trying to make sure that small businesses and economically challenged areas in the U.S. are able to get $5,000 grants from us and the U.S. Chamber Foundation to be able to help them survive during this. Our feeling is if we could be an amazing partner for small businesses now, then we'll be able to work with them for a really long time. It's a resilient, unbelievable customer base we get to work with. And it's absolutely critical for us to do everything we can while they're hurting to make sure they know that we are their partner and we're here for them in every way that we can be.
And I'm sure some of our viewers, many of them who have small businesses, will want to know how they can apply for this fund. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, of course. Again, the fund, we announced it yesterday, and at savesmallbusiness.com, you have the ability to go and sign up for more information. Grant applications will start next week. We've done it in partnership with the U.S. Chamber Foundation, and again, really wanted to make sure that this fund helps serve the underserved communities throughout the U.S. So those communities with that might have a higher proportion of unemployment already, or might have a lesser proportion of high school graduates, those oftentimes are overlooked in these crisis scenarios, and we wanted to make sure that all of them had a fair chance to be able to survive. And so the fund launches with, we donated $1 million to launch the fund, but we view that as just the beginning. Our hope is that many other companies and foundations and citizens across the U.S. will come together to help save small businesses. And this, as that backbone, will give us a chance to help partner with small businesses everywhere. Again, much more information at savesmallbusiness.com, and we want to do everything we can to help every small business in need right now.
I love that challenge being issued to other big businesses to help out small businesses. Ricky Engelberg, thank you so much for joining us and for all that you're doing to help keep America, Canada, and the rest of the world safe.
Thank you so much, Lana.